Okay, I'm back. And I think like for the first time in my life, right? Like I feel like, well, I ain't gonna say the first time, but the first real time, I think in my life, like I will be embarking on a journey, a career journey where I'm just 100% happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say I don't have problems because I got problems, like anybody else got problems. But I'm not going into it like, oh, I gotta boss up to prove a point. Like I'm gonna show him what he been missing. Fuck him. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is about me. You hear me? Like, this is about me. Like, I'm not working towards something. Like, I remember I had this whole thing in my 20s, right? Where I was like, I want to be a millionaire in my 20s and do this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm working for my kids. Everything I do is for my kids, for my kids. Because I always wanted to be the person that had money and was established before I had children, right? So even then, it's like I'm working off of vendetta. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm working off of some, some crazy force driving me to do this. But like this is the first time I'm really doing this from the heart, genuinely, vulnerably, 100. I'm literally doing this on my like from my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really putting my heart on the line here. You know, like I'm not doing it because I'm trying to show that I'm better than somebody. Cause honestly, I don't feel like I'm better than nobody. You know what I mean? But if you talk shit about me, I'm gonna talk shit about you. But I don't feel like I'm better than nobody. You feel me? Like, I don't know. It's a different feeling. You know what I mean? Like to have like I'm trying not to internalize things, right? As a person that grew up in suburban schools and then urban schools, right? Or that has worked in urban schools and worked in suburban schools. One thing that I noticed is that, and this is not to like start a race war or nothing, but in suburban schools, they teach their children, they emphasize, I'm not gonna say they teach because I think both of them do that, but they emphasize things about pertaining to emotion with children, right? Like if you're mad, then you feel this. If you're sad, then you feel this. If you know what I'm saying? And they really emphasize that. Now I don't know if the kids actually take that with them, because life will change you, but I think that's important, very very important for adults as well, right? Because when you become an adult, like the real world will try to shut you down, but as a person in this system of life, we have to remember like it's the world's, and I hate to say the world, we'll say it's the system. It's the system's job to try to shut you down. And it's the thing we keep forgetting is that our way of life should be disassociated from the system that we live in. You feel me? But I think it's become a part of the system that we live in. Like the system is about separatism, right? The point is to separate us because it's easier to control if we're separated. You feel me? And I'm not trying to be into politics, but what they say, united we stand, divided we conquer. Wait, no. Yes, yes. But we have to remember, like, the rules of the system, in my opinion, right, should not become the rules of your life. And for me, I felt like the rules of the system became a part of my life, right? Like, don't be too friendly, or don't be too this, or don't be too that. Now, those are good advice to follow. Don't get me wrong. because you have to also remember there are other players in the system, right? So you have to be defensive and protective of what you got. But I cannot define my person as what the system tells me to do, right? And you know where I got all of this from? Was going through these relationship dramas that I had been going through, right? And then I found myself I found myself head deep in these relationship wars, that was going on online. Like I was invested way too much. You know what I'm saying? And they gave a lot of rules, right? And even I was giving my advice, right? But there's one thing when I tell you, when I give you my advice, like, you ain't got to take it. It sound right. You know what I'm saying? It sound good at the moment. It might work, it might not. I don't know. But but I found myself invested too much in the rules of what people were saying as far as like dating. You know what I mean? But truth be told, like, I've had a lot of like actual real relationships that I've had. I've had good relationships, right? I've had really good relationships. I've also had some crazy encounters with a lot of guys that I've dated or knew, right? But my relationships have been pretty good, in my opinion. But I didn't live by rules. And then in a relationship that I did live by rules, which were a few, I didn't like them. They were kind of still, boring. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I think that people give great dating advice. I really, really do. But I also had to realize like everything don't apply to me. You know what I'm saying? Like everything don't apply to me because number one, with my preferences and lifestyle might not be yours. That's number one. And number two, um, like that ain't the type of man that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the type of partner that I want. Like a man living by these rules. I don't even like dudes that live by these rules. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even I don't like him. You know what I mean? Like it sounds good, and it probably does work for a lot of people, but I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't want my relationship to be by rules, you know? Like if I'm just dating somebody and we just having fun, whatever, okay, there are rules there. You know what I'm saying? In our relationship. Well, no, hold on. There are rules that I will follow when dating this person. Not rules in the relationship, but rules that I follow when dating this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, dating has never been hard. For real. Like, I've had encounters, I've had issues with certain people, certain men, whatever. But dating has never been hard for me. Because I'm just my natural self. I'm just me. So dating has never really been hard for me. But I've had encounters with certain situations and different people, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. There were itchy situations, But I had to really like stop consuming so much advice as far as like dating. Like I didn't really apply the advice, but I was just kind of like listening to it, So I was like head deep in it. I was like, yo, I don't even like no dude like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't even want to come home to no guy like that at all. I don't like guys like that, And I was just really sitting there thinking about it. I was like, this is some good advice, don't get me wrong. But me, the type of person that I am, I would never date the guy. Well, I might date him, but I wouldn't be serious about him. I wouldn't be serious about him at all. But I might date him, of course, Yeah, might be fun. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't marry him, And I had to realize that, because I know it's like a lot of guys, right? With this whole misogyny thing going on now. And a lot of guys, it sounds like a lot of control, in a lot of situations. I think some misogynists really do give good advice. They really do. But a lot of it does sound like control. It really does. You know. And I don't like it. Well, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't date a person like that, but it wouldn't be my favorite relationship, I'll tell you that much. I like a certain type of guy. And truth be told, nobody really knows that type of guy because I haven't told them, which is best not to ever really tell the person that you're dating what type of guy that you want. Never tell them that. Like, if I said, like, I've done this, and I've tested this before. I know this conversation we totally left, right? But I tested this before, right? Like, I would tell a guy, like, the things that I gave him a list of things that I liked and things I didn't like. But I only did that just to see what he would do. Right? Now, I don't really do this to everybody, but he was kind of itchy. But I had to test it. You know what I'm saying? I had to test him because he was itchy to me. I feel like, too, like, if you have to test your partner, like, if you have to test them, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like there are going to be tests and there are going to be challenges. You might say something just to see what they'll say, But, I mean, if you really have to test your partner, like, it's either a you thing or it's a them thing. Like, it's not a trust, it ain't no trust in there somewhere. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to test your partner if you want to love them genuinely. But anyway, this is a whole conversation for another time. Back to internalizing things. What I was trying to say was that a lot of people in dating advice, right? Let's go back to that. A lot of guys will internalize things. They will internalize things, right? And when a man starts internalizing things that are going on in his life, either A, you about to be replaced, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be replaced with another person. You may be replaced with his job, you may be replaced with his habit, but you're going to be replaced by something. Or B, something is consuming their energy, their spirit, their emotion, right? And once they start to internalize, that means that something's going to consume them. If it's consuming them, then eventually it's going to start to consume the relationship, right? And I'm a communicator. I like to communicate. Like I said, if I'm with somebody and I see something wrong with them, I'm going to ask them 15 times, like, bro, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You cool? You straight? And I'm just going to keep asking until you, like, say something. And I know I shouldn't, but I have to, because I notice when something's wrong with somebody. You know what I mean? I noticed it. A lot of people will see something wrong with you and won't even say nothing. And mostly because either A, they just don't really feel like dealing with it, or they got their own stuff and they can't deal with it. Or B, they just genuinely don't care. You know what I mean? But even me, like I said, I know, like, internalizing stuff is not good, bro. It's really, really not good. I know people die of broken heart. That's internalized pain. You know what I'm saying? People don't poop regularly. You internalizing something. I don't care what nobody say. When you holding on to anger, grudges, and stuff like that, it mess with your bowel system. I don't care what nobody say. It do. Because think about it. You become a very shitty person when you internalize stuff. And then, so happen, you probably might actually literally be a shitty individual. You know what I'm saying? Because you won't poop. It's just and I know that sounds crazy, but for real, anytime I get mad, it starts to mess with my system. My system get angry. When I'm angry, my system angry. I mean, everything be angry. My heart be angry. My lungs be angry. Everything be angry on the inside of me. For real. And you just kind of internalize this stuff, because depression, like, people don't realize, like, depression really do lead to a lot of illnesses, or it help assist the illnesses that you got and makes them worse, because depression do compromise your immune system, whether people want to admit that or not. It does. Your brain is powerful. If your brain is feeling sad, it's not doing good, your brain can be sick. Depression is your brain being sick. You feel me? Your brain is connected to everything in your body, especially your immune system. So if your brain sick, bro, you finna get sick. In a lot, god damn, my dog just threw up. But anyway, but like for real though, like I noticed that I've seen this in like some patients with terminal illnesses, right? They be cool until they start getting depressed. And then when they start getting depressed, things start to get worse for them. You know? And some of them would try to like hold on, and they'll try to put a smile on, but it's like, baby, something wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. You want to talk about it. But then they'll try to be self-righteous and be like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But you internalizing that pain, that anger is really killing you. So when I said like on my post, which originally started this conversation, like everybody don't internalize pain well. Like everybody don't internalize pain. I would rather somebody speak up, speak out and say something. Like you ain't got to tell your business, but if you hurt, say you hurt. If you sad, say you sad. If you angry, say you angry. You going through something. And it's better to communicate that stuff than hold it in. Because it's easy to get over once you get it out than it is for you holding it in. Like some people can hold stuff in for years, but they eventually become alcoholics or have form an addiction, or they hide away, don't want to talk about it. They're a ghost. You don't see them no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they become a totally different person. For real. For real.